Jess, and today I'm going to be teaching you sketching techniques, inspiration from real life objects. So what that means is we're going to grab some items around our house or our classroom, pick one to draw. I'm going to show you how to draw it very easily in just like basic shapes. We just want to capture a little bit of what we see, and then we're going to get to freestyle and add our little sketching techniques to show some shadow, light, texture, anything that you want. So first, grab your supplies. I'm going to use printer paper and a pen. You can use any paper, pencil, or pen that you would like. Pause here, meet me back here when you're ready with all your supplies, and we'll get started. Before we draw from real life, let's review our sketching techniques so that we know we're all on the same page and we can refresh our memories. Let's explore what are sketching techniques, 5 sketching techniques to try, definitions and how to apply techniques, and how to explore our sketching techniques. What are sketching techniques? Different ways artists use lines and marks to draw and show things like shapes, shadows, textures, and add interest to your doodles. Let's explore monoline, broken line, varied line, crosshatch, and random scribble. Grab any paper you have handy and your favorite pencil or pen, and let's explore together. We're going to turn simple drawings into something a little bit more interesting using the sketching techniques that I'm going to introduce to you. First up, monoline. It's the line that most of us use all the time, a line that stays the same thickness all the way through. This line is great for making simple shapes or letters. Let's start by making a triangle and a square, put them on top of each other to create a simple house. Next up, we have the broken line. It's a line made up of dashes or spaces. It looks broken. I like to give my lines little voices and characters, so I imagine the broken lines saying, "We're just so broken." But when you add them to your design, you can get something really interesting and they work better together. So use broken line to show something is soft, light, or not fully there. Use it to suggest something like wood or direction. So here I've added it to my house to maybe suggest wood paneling or texture, but I don't want it to steal the show. I just want it to accentuate the drawing. Now introducing the varied line. This is a line that changes as you draw it. It can go from thick to thin or smooth to bumpy. Some pencils and pens will vary the line for you depending on how much pressure you use, but I usually like to just draw in my varied line. So I'll start with a mono line and then I'll thicken it up by drawing. You can use it to show movement, texture, light, and shadow. Here I've added it to the house on part of the roof and in the doorway just to show a little bit of shading or just make it a little bit more interesting. Now we arrive at cross-hatching. Hatching are little lines placed next to each other. So cross-hatching is when you draw lines in one direction and then you draw more lines going the other way. I use cross-hatching to show something is darker or to add texture. So here I've added them to the corner, kind of in the shadowed area of the roof and on the left side of the house. So on the roof, maybe it shows a little bit of texture. Maybe on the house, it shows a little bit of shading. Either way, it just adds a little something extra to add interest. We have reached the wild child of the sketching techniques. This is random scribble. Draw lots of loose, messy lines that go in all directions. If my sister, who's younger than me, was a sketching technique, I would call her random scribble because she is fun, full of energy, a little bit all over the place, and absolutely gorgeous. Random scribble can be used to add shading, texture, or a fun, energetic feeling. So I added it to describe and maybe imply some bush, plants, something going on to kind of ground the house. I use it a lot in backgrounds, and it's just a really, really fun technique to let loose. My wish is for you to continue your exploration. It doesn't have to stop here. Sketching techniques and the exploration of them helps you find your style, practice your skills, relax, and have some fun. Pause here and grab a couple of items from around your house or classroom and meet me back here. Let's start simple. We want to find simple objects that we can observe, sketch out, and then make interesting applying our sketching techniques. Here I have some items for inspiration, so let's decide what we're going to draw. I have a mug with a fake eyeball, because why not? It's fun to prank people with. I have a jar of Kalamata olives. It's interesting, it's got a label on it, it's got a lot going on, and an apricot. I love drawing something organic. So now we're going to decide what are we going to use, and I think I'm going to use the apricot because I can open it up. There will be a pit that I can add sketching techniques to and the indentation on the other side. All right, let's get our apricot open. You don't even need a knife. It comes apart This one's a little smushy and a little rough. We're just going to set it up in an interesting way, and there we go. Since I'm using pen, I'm going to start with the one that's on top. So that one's a little bit higher up, right? This side. And all I'm doing is just kind of capturing a few of the little lines that I see, the general shape, nothing major. I'm not going for perfect at all. Here's the little indentation. Let's see the angle. There we go. There's a little V right there where they connect and one on the bottom. And then I just kind of work out from there. Again, I'm not going for photorealistic. I just want to sort of get an idea of what I see. Here's that kind of separation between the top and then the side. Here's the pit. Oop, I messed up, and that's okay. Is it really a mess up? No one knows. No one cares. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do this part quick because the main point of this one is not for you to do the exact same thing that I'm doing, okay? This is where you get to play with your style, your sketching techniques that you've been practicing. You can see I'm using a lot of like varied lines, some hatching. Here's some little tiny hatches. I'm not going to make them cross hatch right now. I'm just capturing some of the like shading that I see. There's some more varied line. I want you to really have fun and play with this. I've got cross hatching to show shadow, and I'm just kind of trying different things. And you can draw this as many times as you want using any sketching techniques. I'm going to add some more cross hatching there because there would be a shadow underneath the top half of the apricot. Thicken that line up. There we go. Now the other side, look here, I've got the indentation. I've got I'm going to use varied lines to kind of show these little ripped pieces on the side. I'm not going to capture all of them. I just want to get the idea. Now the indentation, I want it to look different than the pit. So the pit has a little highlight in the center to show maybe that it's higher up. And the indentation, I want to make darker in the center to show that it's deeper. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this rough area, kind of show that, you know, where like the top of the apricot and the bottom of the apricot separate. Add more lines here, more shading, and that's about it. I think a little stippling, and then, of course, there we go, a little more stippling. And then you got to sign your work, because if you don't sign it, you can't sell it. We did it! Here's your challenge if you choose to accept it. Practice sketching for at least 20 minutes a day, find objects around your house, make it simple, add any techniques you'd like. Have a great time, be nice to yourself, and I suggest using items that you can eat afterwards like fruit or occasionally a cookie.